Hello, 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 I am Ben the Bold, and welcome back to another episode of our Restless Germanians campaign. Yeah, that's right, we are the Germanians. We started out here as the Varnian people right here on the northern Baltic coast of Europe, and somehow, someway, we have gone full tribal, and we have ended up migrating. Well, first of all, we became the Swabians, and then we ended up migrating all the way here to Maria, so what a story this has been. We are actually at war with the Marians. That's right, we, the Swabians, are at war with the most powerful country pretty much in the world. However, they only have 56 cohorts and almost $0, period. So we're doing fairly well, I would say. However, it is time for us to get peace with the Marians as well as to settle some of their lands. Now, we're not, of course, not going to stay here. We are going to settle and then migrate away. But I do need to recoup some of my losses from the various wars. I only have 478 pops, so yeah, there is certainly some migrating that needs to be done. I am going to go ahead and I've decided, instead of just forcing the Marians into a peace deal, I'm just going to slowly begin to settle some of their lands. They don't have enough troops to I think, push through and take their land back, so yeah, I am just going to slowly work on settling some of these provinces, and then I will just declare a white peace, kind of as I have done over and over again. So maybe take a couple more forts. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to pillage their lands. Now, I'm not raising their lands. I'm not raising their lands because, well, they have the same tech as me, and I might as well go ahead and grab that morale of armies plus 5.83%. It's free, why not take it, right? So I will pillage their land. Now, what happens when I pillage their land? Well, I'll get some money, which is great, but also I get political influence. And the more political influence I get, the more I can hit the stab the pig button. And check out how fast my stability is increasing by 1.06 per month. That's really good, and it's doubly important that we have high stability because it costs us stability every time we hit the migrate button. And, well, we are going to be hopefully hitting the migrate button a lot soon. So let's take a look. This place has 19 pops in it, which means we need to settle 20 pops here. So let's go ahead and just move 3 pops away from this army, and then we will settle. I'm looking to settle mostly up here in the north. And just kind of keep attacking them in the south. How many pops do we have here? 5, so we only need 6 to settle, although 9 actually won't hurt me, so I'm just going to settle all 9. I'll move you to Hana. Cool. And you can go to here. I'm going to start moving some armies back, and they're going to be settling armies. Ooh, we have become a local power. That's fine. We are also still winning this war with the Marians, and they would accept a white peace, so we would just go ahead and gain the pops that we have taken. Although, we can do better than that, certainly, right? Who's in control of this siege? Oh, they are in control of the siege. I'm not interested in that. Let's give you a general and move you somewhere else where you can do some pillaging. I want to continue, of course, to pillage as much as possible. Here are these 12 pops. There's 11 there, so 12. Let's go ahead and settle. What about here? There are 9 pops. That's perfect. We need 10. 9 pops is the perfect amount of pops that we want, because we can only migrate 20 people at a time. And we can only settle if we have more people settling than they have pops there. So it works with 9 because then I can settle 10. I have 19 pops, and then I can migrate all in one go. So let's go ahead and settle with just these 10 pops. And now, as soon as we're no longer at war, I can migrate. How about you? You have 21 pops. Alright, which means we need 22. So I'm just going to go ahead and move these 7 over. And you have 12 pops, which means you need 13. So I'll move these 7 over. These 3 to here. I also have to kind of be keeping an eye out down here in the south, make sure that the Marians don't get too ambitious. I'm going to worry about that stack of 22,000 men. I'm just going to go ahead. Now, we're also going to be, now that we have territory, we're going to be pushing slaves into the territory we've taken. I've kind of thought about this. What if at the beginning of a war, I went ahead and just took one little, like, territory, and then over the course of a war where I spread out my, you know, hundreds of cohorts, I then am taking slaves and I'm pushing all the slaves into that one little territory. In this case, it would be here. Now that's going to mean that it's going to be just have a huge population. In fact, it may not even be able to support that big of a population. Alright, now that we have this, let's go ahead and pillage, and let's get out of Dodge. I want to... Nope, don't want to go that way. Let's go this way. I want to stay away from that army. I'm going to fight that army, it seems, but it actually thinks I'm going to win it. I'm still just going to retreat as soon as I can. I don't want to take the unnecessary casualties. Let's take a look. Well, no, I'm not going to retreat. If it thinks I'm going to win, and it does still think I'm going to win, I don't know why I would win this fight. They have a lot more troops than I do. Maybe just my high morale. Ooh, I'm getting a little nervous about it. I'm losing tons and tons of men, but I really want to keep that ticking war score. I'm not going to keep the ticking war score. Let's go ahead and retreat. Let's get this army out of here. It's going to come up here. We lost 11 pops. So that's kind of the danger with this build that I'm going through. If we lose a bunch of fights, we can really end up in a world of hurt. Also, attrition is terrible for us. In the meantime, let's just keep focusing on... Because right now, ooh, after that victory... Alright, so that we still have a much... We're still much more likely to get peace than not, so... I still want to just keep settling. So here, how many pops did I want? I want 22, so let's take these two nations. Let's get rid of these... Deselect those 3,000. Let's put these two together, and now let's split them apart. And now we'll settle with you, and then these three are going to go there. Plus those 4. About right here. I'm actually just going to pause for a second. Right here we just need 7 pops. Just because I'm playing this math game. We'll settle here and then move these 9. Yeah, so these 9 will then come to here and settle. As we lose armies from the field, I just need to make sure that we are still going to be able to white piece them out. 17, so these 19 are just going to go ahead and settle. 15, so I need 4 more. But to settle here, I need 15, so let's go ahead and pillage to get that 7 political influence. And now we'll go ahead and settle. 13, so I just need 14 to settle here, so... That's an army of 14. Why can't I settle? Has greater to 13 migrants. Oh, 2 of them. Alright, so... Now this army of 7,000 will move that way. I want to just keep an eye on the war score, just make sure that, yeah, I'm still not in any danger. I'm just kind of going into hardcore settling mode at this point. This army, this war has been won. Now we just have to go ahead and get our spoils. But we want to make sure we do this while we are not... Yeah, so you will settle... Let's see, you have 11, so let's do 12. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Now there's 12 here. We'll settle. Alright, and these 15,000, let's go ahead and settle them too. We'll pillage first, get that sweet, sweet political influence. which turns into sweet, sweet stability. Look at that. I am at 61 stability. I'm still gaining almost 1 stability per month. That is hugely impressive. And I am losing war score. I'm losing war score because I think it's no longer ticking for me. Okay, it is. I think. Okay, no one has won enough battles. Need over 10 from battles, and we are currently at 6. So we're not getting a ticking war score, but we just occupy so much territory. But as I keep giving up territory, then that war score is going down. So right now, I'm still not in any danger because they have 38 positive reasons, whereas they only have 10 negative reasons to take this peace deal. But I still need to be just kind of keep a watchful eye on that. Move these 10 to here. We'll need more than 10. We're still sieging down that fort in the north. That's gonna just help us overall. So, all right, those 19 I'll add together. How many do I need? 15. So I'll take away. Well, first of all, let's pillage it. Get that sweet, sweet political influence. Oops. I keep forgetting there's some just regular cohorts here, so let's just go ahead and let's be done with these guys. Disband that unit. There's no reason to keep them. These 10,000 men will come here. And honestly, that might be enough. I've carved out a little, you know, little Swebian homeland here in the kind of central plains of Maria. Once I... Well, actually, like right here. I can move these 12,000 to here. I need one. Alright, so admittedly, I'm still going to try to grab a couple more territories. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and take some gold. Why not? $12, so I might as well just settle the full 15. Here they have 19. Alright. Gotta be careful. Still 32 reasons for. Only 11 reasons against. Again, every single pop I settle means more pops in the future, but I'm playing this kind of dangerous game. And I have some scorned families. Not super worried about that, especially because I have so many armies that... Hey look, there you go. Are you still scorned? Yeah, you are. Alright, well, let's just go find another army. And you're scorned. And now we're good. I'm not worried about trade deals because I'm not going to keep this land super long. I'm really, I mean, I've mentioned this a bunch of times, but I'm really enjoying kind of this way to play as a migratory horde. It's a lot of fun. And now that I'm like slowly getting more and more used to playing as a migratory horde. Now that I have realized that, hey, I need to be pillaging a lot to keep my political influence high, which then I pretty much will only sink in to sacrifice the gods. Why? Because that helps my stability, and having high stability means that I can resettle, obviously, when I'm not at war. Or that I can just kind of continually migrate when I'm not at war. You have 19, so let's just put 20 here. Or, you know what? Because I have some non-migratory cohorts, I'll just settle everything. It's going to be fine. Here we have 11, so we just need one more pop. Split you in half, you go there. Honestly, I'm probably just going to settle these last two places and then call it quits with this war. I think it's been a huge success, and I just don't want to lose any more territory, any more men to the fight against the Marians. Now, you might think high war exhaustion is bad. No, I think high war exhaustion is great. Why? Because it's, look at that, monthly military experience up by plus 146%, which means I'm gaining military experience at 0.91 per month. And it's really not a big deal because I'm going to be constantly migrating. And I know that you can't migrate when provinces are disloyal. But I'm finding that it's not really that big of a deal because I'll just migrate all from my capital province, which right now is here. And then all of a sudden my capital will have to default to somewhere else. And then I'll migrate from that province because capital provinces can't be disloyal. And then I'll migrate from said province, and then it'll pop me over. My new capital is maybe over here now. And then I'll migrate from here. So it's not really a big deal. I'm not super worried about the idea of, you know, high unrest from war exhaustion. So I'll merge these units. We'll settle you, and we'll settle... Ooh, I should have pillaged it first. Oh well. Now we're going to go ahead and sue for peace. I know I could probably get more out of this, but I'm happy with the way this war has turned out. Check it out right here in the middle of the Marian... I'll go ahead and press the play button to get rid of all that occupied territory. But right here in the middle of the Marian Empire, we have a Swabian homeland. Now, we're obviously not going to stay here very long. I might as well just go ahead and put a general or a governor up here in charge of some of these places. You know what? At this point, I'll hire researchers. Is that going to do me any good whatsoever? No, because check it out. I'm getting 0 research points per month. However, again, I'm not super worried about that. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and immediately start... Well, first, I want to just look around and make sure that I'm not taking any unnecessary attrition somewhere. And none of my armies seem to be doing that. Now, let's take a look at the food scenario for all of my armies. So armies with... I'm actually just going to split this army in half. Let's move half of it to there. So armies with lots of food. I'm going to go ahead and march to the next kind of area of conquest in my travels. Which... Man. Let's see. Where will that be? Maybe up here, although I'm a little worried about deserts as well as mountains. Man, there's really just no good way to get back to civilization. Well, alright, when I say civilization, obviously, in the Indian subcontinent, they were extremely civilized back at the time. I mean, that they aren't now. But back to kind of Western Europe, or just Europe in general. I'll have to cross these mountains, which these are some pretty low civilization territories, if I remember correctly, which means I'm going to take lots of attrition. You have decent enough food. I might go ahead and just like move you here. I think the next place I go to war with will be this Satagidia? Satagidia! Yeah, we'll pretend that that's the name. Let's check it out. How many allies do you have? You only have 1 alliance, and it's to area, which is way down here. Alright, I'm not going to worry about that. How many troops do you have? I should have looked at that. You only occupy these little mountain passes. You have 23 cohorts, but you have enough money to hire as many mercenaries as you desire. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and start moving troops into your territory. Let's just do so kind of slowly as we're migrating. There's no reason to rush. We have plenty of time. So again, anywhere that has lots of food, I'm just going to go ahead and march them into, you know, the Satagidia land. Again, and I will probably do something similar. I'll attack the Satagidians. I'll take as many pops as I can. Stability is still going up. We just don't want stability to be going down. There's no real harm in waiting to start migrating, at least for the moment. I'm just going to move this army as well. Let's keep this train going. I'm actually surprised. The attrition doesn't seem to be too horrifying up here. I don't know, do you get bad attrition from just mountains? We're going to lose a little bit of gold. That's fine. We're actually gaining money for the first time in a really long time. And before all of these places just absolutely tank their loyalty, I am going to go ahead and migrate. So migrating is going to cost me 3.2 stability per button click, and I'm going to have to click the button a bunch of times, but I'll go ahead and migrate these 16,000. You can go here. So I want to do it from disloyal provinces first. I know that I'm not really worried about that, because eventually I'll just migrate away from my my capital province, and capital provinces can never be disloyal, but I might as well go ahead. I can't do it here because we don't have 51% of the people. So how many more pops do I need? View pops. 14 Swabian, 15 Aryan, 14, 15. Alright, so I just need 2 more. We'll have you pause. I'll have 1, 2 come down and you'll settle in Mansa. And a nice even stack of 20,000 will head towards this place. We have an unmarried ruler. You know, I might as well go ahead and marry him off. I really have not been paying any attention kind of whatsoever to pretty much all of my little buttons up here. Because, well, I'm just kind of not worrying about it too much. Especially this war exhaustion. I like having high war exhaustion. In fact, I'm going to be trying to pump up that war exhaustion again very quickly with another major war. And we'll go ahead and bring you here. Go ahead and settle you, and now wait for the end of the month. We found that to be the case, but, ooh, are you going to be disloyal at the end of the month? That was annoying. Yeah, so now it's because the province is disloyal. Alright, so I'll have to start migrating from other places first. Oh, that's annoying. You have to have 3 pops to migrate, that I migrated away. So I'll just settle 1 more and migrate again. This is where the huge just stability suck comes into play, because here I'll have to hit it 3 times. Here, I'll just have to hit it twice. And look at this, we're already down to 46 stability, but we're still gaining it by 1.3 per month. So that's incredibly fast stability gain. So I'm not super worried about how long it's going to take me to migrate away from here. Do all these armies start out full food? Yes, they do. Good. So I'm just going to go ahead and put those armies together. Let's see, where do I want to move you to? About up here in the mountains? Right there, that'll work. Now I just need to move from my capital province. Tell you what, there's just a lot of like button clicks, you know? Which I'm all for. Nope, you don't have dominant religion is not tuistic, so let's see what we can do about that. 15 and 16, so we should be able to fix this issue with by just settling 2 people here. I'm going to go ahead and merge these, and I'm going to split them in half. And I'm going to take this 15 and bring, let's do 3. Bring you to Tohan? No. Yeah, Tohan. Alright, let's just briefly... Sorry, I've been focusing on clicking that migrate button. Let's just briefly go ahead and look. Yeah, see, we're almost back up to 500 cohorts. I mean, that's great. I'm hoping that by the end of migrating all of these away, I mean, keep in mind, we still have 29 here, 31 here, 22 here, only 8 there, 27. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be getting back up close to 600. And we're going to, once again, 41. Did I see that right? Were there 41 here? Yeah, there we go. So, and 41 pops here. So, we're going to be getting back close to that 600 mark. And then we're just going to do it again. We're going to have a war here. We're going to take as many pops as we can from them. Again, we will kind of have to, you know, pump our stability up high. And then we're just going to hopefully do this through Bactria into Parnia, back down into what was once the Seleucid Empire before we got involved. And then we'll move into Phrygia again, most likely. It's a long journey, but it's kind of, I mean, it's been a fun one. I've enjoyed this campaign a lot. I hope that it's vastly successful, and I can't wait to see what I can do to the Romans when I inevitably get back there. Ooh, meeting in the clans after the death. Oh no, our clan chief died after the death of Dumiad Malogurus. The clan chiefs of the Suebium met to elect a fierce and strong leader to shepherd our people in these ever-changing times. You're telling me they're ever-changing after all? We are just marching across the world, a people without a homeland. After much liberation, Gerurak Tomb was installed in a lavish ritual to which all clan dignitaries were invited. Well, good for him. Many, however, were discontented. Well, that's a shame, so we're going to get a little bit of loyalty issues. Alright, he seems alright. Again, it doesn't really matter when we are on the warpath like we have been. Go ahead. Let's just hire a researcher of the Tuom class, or Tuom clan, and there we go. You know what? Sure, I'll give them extra morale recovery. Why not? Let's move I still need to focus on moving these troops, because I still have lots of troops down here in the Marian territories. Let's go ahead. Can I take you to here? Yeah, that'll work. And these 19,000 can come to here. Let's just go here. I wonder what the Satagadians, they are at war, and they seem to be fighting a pretty costly war. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, they only have 68 manpower left, so they better hire some mercenaries with all that gold they have. But they're in a costly fight right now, but do you think they have any idea what's coming? Do you think they have heard stories from the Marians about, ooh, we need to make sure that you're not just losing food left and right? Same with you. That's kind of... The food issue is the dangerous one, so let's go ahead, select you, and just move you up somewhere where you're not going to be eating everyone out of house and home. I'm just going to move you to here for a second. Nope, just there for a second. Let's do the same here. Let's split you in half. Now you're only 10,000 men. We'll move these 10,000 men into the capital, and then we'll take these 38,000, or these 20,000 rather, excuse me, and we'll move you to Kubha, and then these 18,000 are going to go there. You are fully stocked on food. Let's actually go ahead and have you merge with these 4,000. Perfect. Go ahead. These 20,000, where are you going to go? Let's send this 20,000 stack to here. And the 7,000 stack is actually just for the time going to come south into Marian territory. These 23,000 men are going to go... Let's just go right there. Is that going to get all my armies out of Maria? Yes, indeed it will. Good. Move these 14,000 a little closer to the front. These 12,000 as well. Can go there. Those 8,000 are actually restocking their food supplies, which I'm all for. These 17,000 should probably be moved too. Let's move them to Hada. And I do need to keep some cohorts in reserve back here. Let's move these 21,000 since they are also eating. I'll just move you to Bahata? I don't know, man. These names, they're tough. Let's just disband our regular cohorts. I'm not worried about them. These 20,000 men can come to Kohat? 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 Now we're still gaining 1.16 stability every single click, so let's just keep on migrating then. And before things get out of control, let's send these 20,000 to Ortispania? Ortispana? Not Ortispania. And these 20,000 are just going to come there. And then I need 3 to just move to select, settle, and migrate again. And then we'll merge all that into one good army of 20,000 men, which are going to come to Setagidide. Setagidide. I can't pronounce any name in this game at all. These 45,000, ooh, they need to... Let's unite them for a second. And now let's split them in half. Let's move these 23,000 to here, and these 22,000 to here. The good news is, because we actually own some territory... Ooh, maybe not. We have 0 food in these territories, so we might have to deal with a little bit of starvation. These 3,000 can come merge with those 7,000. These 22,000 can, of course, move on maybe to Bayon. Bayon it is. We're just going to, like, immediately siege down every single territory these people have. It's going to be insane. You're actually losing food here. So, it's not worth it for you just to sit there, is it? Or actually, no, food supply changes by 0 per month. Alright. How much food do we have in the capital? Not a ton, but enough. So let's go ahead and get these 10,000 men up here in the north of whatever country we're about to invade. Ooh, no, how sad. He's gained diphtheria. That's a shame, man. I'm sorry. Merge these 10,000 men together, and we'll move them into... How about you? So in the meantime, I need to keep some people back here, just because I can't migrate, because I don't have dominant. So like here, how many pops do I need to settle here? I only have 7 Swebian and 7 Tuistic pops out of 23, so you know what? I might actually just have to settle. Let's figure out this place first, and then we'll go to the capital. How about that? Because that capital was getting lots of slaves. So here, I have 7 Tuistic, 7 Swebian versus 10 Hindu. So I need to put down... Well, 1, I need you not to be taking attrition, but I need to put down 1, 2, 3. No, I need to put down 4. So let's just bring these back together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Select and settle. Now at the end of the month, I will be able to migrate here. Let's wait for the end of the month, and... Month tick, migrate. And of course, I still have just 1 pop here. Great. So I'm going to split this in half. I'm going to take these 19,000 troops and just move them somewhere where they're not going to be eating a bunch of food. I'll take you and settle 2 more. You know what? Might as well do 4, because there's no penalty in doing that. And I'll migrate again. Yep, and you're out of food already. So let's march you to the capital. The capital at least gains some food, although it's not a ton. How? You have grain. How in the world are you running a negative on food? Oh, that would be why. Population capacity. So we gotta hurry up and do this if we're gonna get the full extent of our population. Again, we have 558 cohorts. We're going to be up around 600 again. Very soon, I think we're going to be even higher, because we're going to steal a lot of pops from you. How many pops can we steal? We could steal upwards of 451 pops from this country. We're not going to be doing that. That's going to cost us way too much stability. In fact, let's take a look. What's your tech level? I should have looked at that. So you actually have worse tech than us. So this might be a war mostly for political influence and just a few pops. Because, well, I'm going to do my best to just keep hitting that stab the pig button as many times as I can, because I love how quick stability rises when I've sapped the pig a bunch of times. Let's go ahead, keep moving pops around. Yeah, I'll take you to Besad. These 18,000 men will be gaining some food. Alright, I think that's where I'm unfortunately going to have to call it quits for today. We did see in this episode the end of our Marian War, and the beginning of what will be our Satagidia War. I'm going to pretend like I just said that correctly. Our Satagidian War. But I've been going for about 35 minutes. And, well, that's just all the time I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know that not a ton happened, but I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button. If you enjoy the videos I make, you might as well hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.